Hello my dear friends, as we're all aware that One Punch Man chapter 180 has already been unleashed upon the world, and it was wilder than a coconut at a monkey rave. In this chapter, we witnessed a lowly god-level kid take on a high-ranking god-level Blady, and they together defeat a dragon-level rat by driving innocent people's nuts. And, believe it or not, the next chapter is going to be even crazier than the previous one. But did you know that the upcoming chapter might differ from the webcomic version? If you're curious about which parts are going to be altered and why, then fasten your seatbelts and check out the entire video. The conclusion is going to blow your mind like a balloon at a porcupine convention. And if you're lucky, you might even see Saitama with hair. But before we embark on a chat about the future, let's first rewind to the past. Our journey begins with Tatsumaki telling Saitama to stay away from her sister. This caused Saitama to lose his motivation and gave Tatsumaki a golden opportunity to show off her Esper powers. She ripped off Saitama's jacket like a pro, and then blew him away with her Esper power. Meanwhile, Mr. Further got caught up with some bad guys who wanted to make him their next victim. Luckily, Saitama and Tatsumaki appeared out of nowhere while taking some wrong turn and unwittingly stumbled into the middle of the fray. But the boss of the boss of the punk Mr. Big Iron emerged from the shadows and foolishly underestimated our dynamic duo. He was promptly knocked out by Saitama, and the rest of his cronies were taken down by Tatsumaki in one swift move. They saved Mr. Further and made a hasty getaway. On the other hand, a giant rat emerged from its hole to prove to humanity who the real boss. However, it was brutally taken down by Saitama and Tatsumaki, who showed it who's really in charge. The chapter concludes with Tatsumaki playfully demolishing innocent people's homes using Saitama as her personal wrecking ball, leaving Metal Bat heartbroken because he had hoped to take down the rat himself. So now it's time comes to talk about the future. After destroying several houses and slaying a gigantic rat, our unstoppable duo lost their way and couldn't find their way to back home. But due to our Saitama-kun as the smartest person alive, he quickly figured out the way to back home. Impressed by his intelligence, Tatsumaki sweetly put her hand on Saitama's head and started dragging him along the ground, by shaking her hips like a pro wrestler. As they were making their way home, a strange guy began to follow them. To their surprise, it was none other than Speedo Sonic. He didn't know what the hell was going on but decided to fight them, because he saw Saitama's face being dragged on the ground. He threw his exploding shurikens towards them by completely ignoring Tatsumaki's presence. However, Tatsumaki used her Esper powers to effortlessly return the shurikens to Sonic. Sonic began dodging them, but in the process, he stepped on something strange and accidentally blew himself away. It seems that karma has a way of catching up to you even if you're a speedy ninja. After reaching the Hero Association building, Saitama stood up and grabbed Tatsumaki's hand, giving her permission to use her full power against him. Tatsumaki soon realized that hard work alone wouldn't defeat this guy, so she decided to get smart. She used her Esper powers to try to launch Saitama into space, but she quickly discovered that he was as heavy as a blue whale on steroids. While doing her best, Tatsumaki suddenly reached her limits and began coughing up blood. Despite attempting to use her full power, her wound opened up and her face was covered in blood. If you're unfamiliar with Tatsumaki's injury, I'll explain it in the next video, so be sure to hit that subscribe button with the legendary bell icon. However, let's return to the present time. After realizing she had reached her limit, Tatsumaki decided to end the war. With a lovely smile, she buried Saitama alive and walked away like this as the another normal day. Now, here's my opinion. Since we've already seen a scene like this, I don't think Mr. Murata will keep this page the same. In fact, I believe that he'll add something interesting and unexpected to make it more exciting. So mark your calendars for March 9, 2023, and let's see what happens next. Thanks for tuning in my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more crazy predictions.